हसरत है हमारी बाबा, कर दो वो पूरी आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
विश्व कल्याणकारी बाप, विश्व के चारों तरफ के बच्चों को देख हर्षित हो रहे हैं। सभी बच्चों के सदरी और सहयोग की रेखाएं बच्चों के चेहरे से दिखाई दे रही। हर एक के दिल से मेरा बाबा ये गीत बाप दादा सुन रहे हैं। बाप दादा भी इस बार में कहते हैं, ओ मेरे अति प्रिय, अति सने लाडले बच्चे। हर एक बच्चा प्रिय भी है, लाडले भी। क्यों? कोटों में कोई और कोई में भी कोई हो तो क्या हुए? लाडले हुए। बाप दादा भी लाडले बच्चों को देख खुश होते हैं। बच्चों को भी सदा खुशी में डांस करते हुए देखते हैं और देखते जाते हैं। सदा खुशी में रहते तो है, लेकिन बाप सदा चाहते सदा खुश रहते हो। कि फर्क पड़ता है खुशी में। कभी बहुत खुशी, कभी थोड़ी कम और कभी बहुत कम।
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे। रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे। रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में। रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में।
Om Shanti. In order to experience the stage of liberation in life, become free from bondage, the stage of manmanabhav. Always be stable in the stage of manmanabhav and experience spiritual supersensuous joy and sweetness of the mind, and you will become free from the sweetness of the senses, that is, free from the attraction of perishable sweetness. Those who remain trapped in anything of the old world or in the sweetness of the senses cannot experience the sweetness of the mind, and so become free from this. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 10. In order to experience the stage of liberation in life, become free from bondage. Today's topic, the stage of manmanabhav. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone is okay, well. If there is a thought to be in good stage, happy, be at service of Baba, be cooperative soul. When we have elevated thoughts like these for the self, then we are okay, right? We feel happy. There is always so much to do. Whether it is Mansa Seva or Seva through any other way, unlimited, right? Baba says you all have to serve the whole world. And that's what we are doing. For that, we are looking for what different ways we can adopt. And also, very important to maintain stage. Good stage is good, but also stage where there is remembrance of Baba. And that is called manmanabhav. We get busy in service or whatever we have to do. While doing all that, keep aim that there has to be remembrance of Baba. So always remain stable in the stage of manmanabhav. And experience spiritual supersensitive joy and the sweetness of the mind. And you will become free from sweetness of the senses, that is, free from the attraction of perishable sweetness. Mind is always has to have some experience. It has to have experience of joy, happiness, peace, love. You can't be empty, right? But then if there is always pull, like if I like something to eat, you will feel it's good, it's tasty, but how long and how many times? Many kinds of addictions start happening because of the organs being pulled to taste something, to experience something, even if it's momentary, not long time. So before we go into something which is negative, temporary, and constantly pull the mind and the senses, If we can fill our mind with supersensitive joy, that is from the stage of being with Baba, in remembrance of Baba, in love of Baba. I think if we do that, so that is why it is very, very important to include Baba's remembrance in our stage. That means I should really be constantly remembering so that the sweetness of the mind could experience Baba, many, many experiences, love from Baba, joy from Baba, success, happiness. What everything of the life we can experience from Baba. Baba in all relationships. So experiencing the sweetness of mind, super sense and joy will help us not to be pulled by other senses. So we will work on ourselves, share with others, and sustain ourselves. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Once again, welcome to the happy world of Avikti Children Season 3. Today is day 10, and again, we have youth today who is coming in front of Avikti Parivar and they will present. Let's see what they have for us today. Welcome, all youth.
Om Shanti Avikti Parivar. Om Shanti Mohini Didi. So, as Baba said today, that we have to become images of happiness. And our youths are such an example that when they come, they spread the waves of happiness in the family. So, last time they came and they showed us something very unique. So, today they are also coming, but they are bringing some guest with them. So, let's first welcome our youths and ask them who they are bringing with them. Welcome.
Om Shanti Avinti Parivar. So, our last month's topic was to give blessings and receive blessings. And yes, we always have blessings from our Baba, but Avikti Parivar is very special because we are also always receiving blessings from our ancestor souls. And today we are going to invoke and share about our ancestor souls. So, Avikti Parivar, are you ready?
Yes, we're very excited.
And so we will have our brother Dheeraj, who will be invoking Brahma Baba first.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar, Om Shanti Mohini Didi, and thank you, Sister Dhumi, for passing it to me. And now our topic is, this slide is going to be about our most beloved and Adi soul, Prajapita, or father of all, Brahma Baba. This is an overly shortened list of the special qualities that Father Brahma possessed, but it contains some. His praise is uncountably huge, but beginning with Brahma Baba's ever-readiness. He was ready to leave that old body always. He was always packed and ready to leave the impure world because his efforts were of the highest standards, that he reached the karmatit or the complete stage early. The saying that relates to Baba's ever-readiness goes that Brahma Baba knew very well that he was leaving his body when he called Prakashmani Dadi to his room and transferred the powers and said his last words and gave the responsibility of the yagya to our Bari Dadi. And coming to the second point of perfecting imperfections through self-checking, Brahma Baba was said to hold a kacheri every night as he inspected his organs as to whether they were performing their tasks according to his orders or not. And he regularly self-checked and also shared those experiences with children. As in some recent release, we have been seeing that Baba shared his experience on how he sometimes forget to remember Shiv Baba while eating, and then he reminds himself and the children to remember Shiv Baba while eating. And the third point, putting children ahead of himself. He was very Nirankari that Brahma Baba wanted each and every child to move ahead of him, and he placed them in front of himself for every service opportunity. And the next one is Gambhirta, or it has a lot of meanings, seriousness, introversion, and etc. But he was also fearless. Baba was never afraid, even in the face of the worst adversities possible, because he knew that the world almighty authority, God, was with him. Even though during the initial stages of the yagya, there was a lot of opposition towards Brahma Baba, he was never afraid. He wasn't even afraid when a murderer came directly to him. He was Gambhir. That by heart, he was lovely, but when it comes to Srimad and Ishwarya Maryadas, he was serious and considered them immensely. And of all, this is my favorite. He was the most obedient or Agnyakari. A great example could be given when we are talking about how Brahma Baba gave away everything, including all of his properties, wealth, home, and etc., just with one command of Shiv Baba. He completely surrendered himself, and that is why he is known as the most obedient. And the next special point is that he was the most detached or Sakshi. No matter what, Baba was always a detached observer. Of all the children Brahma Baba had to take care of, he never disliked anyone, because no matter what the child does, Brahma Baba always forgave them because he was a detached observer and merciful. And coming to the last specialty in this slide only, the Brahma Baba's Nischay Buddhi, or faithfulness or determination. He put his complete faith in Shiv Baba until the end and never gave up. He continued moving on in service and efforts until his last breath. And overall, Brahma Baba is a perfect sample child to look at and to move in the footsteps of. That's why there's a blessing too that goes Master Brahma Baba, Master Brahma Baba. This is why Shiv Baba says only to see Mama and Baba. And the question for this slide is, what were the last three words spoken by Father Brahma? A. Nirakari, Nirvikari, Nirahankari. B. Nishchay Buddhi, Nirahankari, Nirvikari. Or C. Nirogi, Nishchay Buddhi, Nirvikari. If you think it's A, raise your hand. If you think it's B, wave. If you think it's C, put a thumbs up. Okay, now passing on to our dear brother.
Thank you, brother. So now at Vipti Parivar, we will be sharing about our sweet Mama. As we all know, Mama had immense love for all the children, and this is why whenever Mama would have to give any child teachings, she would always give the teaching with a lot of sweetness and love. Mama used to sit with the child, she would feed the child doli, and then what she used to do was first she used to praise the child's good qualities. She would say, "Child, you are like gold, but you have a little alloy mixed in you. But if you remove this alloy, you will become gold." And this way, with a lot of love, she used to teach every child. Mama, as we all know, is immovable and unshakable. And Mama always kept the point of the drama in front of her. No matter how fearsome any situation would be, Mama would say, "It is in the drama." And this way, she was always unshakable. Mama was also always ever ready. Baba would have to give the direction once, and Mama would say, "Hanji, Baba." And without questioning, she would implement the direction right away. And this is why Mama was always ever ready. Mama also had 100% faith in Baba, herself, and Baba's task, and this also allowed her to remain ever ready. Mama was a Shakti form, and this is why she was always fearless and she was always truthful. When Mama had to go to the court, she was fearless and she spoke everything truthfully because, again, her faith was complete. And as we all know, our sweet Mama was an image of motherly love. She had immense respect and love and regard for every child. Next slide. So now, Vikti Parivar, we have a question for you. When Mama became Avyak, what was the special fruit that she fed everyone while giving powerful drishti? So, Vikti Parivar, if you think it's A, put a thumbs up. If you think it's B, wave your hand like this. And if you think it's C, then put a heart. So, I see everyone putting hearts. And yes, Vikti Parivar, you were right. When Mama became a Vyat, the special fruit she fed everyone was grapes. And now I will pass it on to our dear brother Amrit.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. So the next ancestor soul that we will be focusing on is Didi Manmohini Ji. And one thing that we all can imbibe from Didi Manmohini Ji was that she had the awareness that she was with one Baba and none other. And she was never influenced by anyone who came in her way. She did not mix the directions of her own mind, which is Manmat, with Baba's directions, which is Srimat. And she always made sure that only Baba Srimat was in her intellect. And because of this, her stage was very powerful. And her stage was powerful and unshakable and immovable. And her stage was so powerful that when Sister Maureen first met Didi Ji, she began to experience a stage of soul consciousness, and she felt like all her burdens and sanskars of her past births had been deleted in 1 second. And even though Sister Maureen could not speak much Hindi, and our dear Didi Ji could not speak much English, and there was a language barrier, they still felt a very strong connection of friendship with each other. And this connection was a soul-to-soul connection. And the connection was so powerful that Sister Maureen had said that she felt uplifted. And another aspect that we can all imbibe from our Didi Manmohini Ji was that she established all relationships with the one Father. And this may be having Baba as a friend, as a teacher, as a Sadguru. No matter what it was, she had all these relationships firmly established. And because of this, she was able to face any obstacle that came her way with courage. And whenever she needed a father with her to take advice, she was able to use that. And if she needed a friend to chit chat with and to talk to, she was able to use that too. And because of this, she was able to become a lighthouse and lighthouse. And whoever came in front of her was shown the path to Baba. And for example, one time when our dear, one time when she was speaking to another Dadi, she seemed a little tired while making effort. And because of this, she said that knowledge and yoga are there to make us happy. And we must talk to Baba as a father and friend. And this made that person she was talking to realize that whatever happens to her body, her happiness must not fluctuate. And another thing we heard in this Murli today was that if we sit in the seat of being an observer, then our happiness will not fluctuate either. So I think we can imbibe both those points. And that brings me to a third point, which is always remain happy in an easy way. And finally, one slogan that our dear Manmohini Didi Ji had always imbibed was that she is a soul and she is a guest here and she has come to play her part as a server. And her soul and her home is the soul world, and it is time for her to go home. And her slogan was Ab Ghar Jana. Next slide. So now for our question, what was Didi Ji's slogan? Is it A, Shiv Baba Yaad Hai, which means remember Shiv Baba? Or is it B, Ab Ghar Jana Hai, which is now it is time to go home? Or is it C, always say Hanji? If you think it's A, raise your hand, Avyakti Parivar. If you think it's B, you can wave. And if you think it's C, you can do a thumbs up. Yes, indeed, Avyakti Parivar. The correct answer is Ab Ghar Jana Hai. It is now time to go. Thanks. And now I would like to pass it to our dear brother Arav, who will be explaining Dadi Prakash Mani ji.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar, Om Shanti Mohini Didi. Thank you so much, Amrit Bhai, for your wonderful presentation on Didi Manmohini. Now we're going to look at Dadi Prakash Mani ji. So Dadi Prakash Mani, whose Lokik name was Rama, she came in Gyan when she was only 15 years old. And many people call her Dadi Kumarka because Brahma Baba lovingly called her that after he saw her gentle and her pure life. Dadiji's specialties were love, respect, and trust. Dadiji was very honest and calm, and she also said one time that every day I have only one thing to practice: how to be truly honest with God and with God's teachings. Also, Dadiji was never tired while doing service, and her face was always shining like a blooming flower. Dadiji also had trust in all of Baba's children. One time when she was asked how she managed such a huge organization, she just replied, "Everyone knows what they have to do. I trust they will do it." Dadi Prakash Mani was also never affected by praise, insult, or defamation. She was very mature and had a lot of humility. Dadiji also had complete faith and loved the yagya. It's said that after Amrit Vela, she always used to say, "Come Baba, let's run the yagya together." So here is Dadiji with former President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam. Next slide. Yeah. So now quiz time. In 1986, what program under Dadi's supervision was organized by the United Nations? If you think it's A, 7 billion acts of kindness, raise your hand. If you think it's B, million minutes of peace, then give a thumbs up. If you think it's C, World Religious Congress, then wave your hand. Okay, Avyakti Parivar, the answer is B, million minutes of peace. So now I would like to pass the presentation to our dear brother Adi. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Vikti Parivar. Thank you, Brother Ara, for sharing who Dadi Prakash Mani ji was. And now we're going to learn about Dadi Janki ji. Dadi's main motto was Sachai, Safai, and Sadgi. All of us know that Dadi Janki's motto was very iconic and special to all of us. But what does it really mean? It means truth, cleanliness, and simplicity. Dadi used this motto everywhere. And this is how Dadi became a wonderful and pure person. The motto, truth, cleanliness, and simplicity, is such a wonderful symbol for purity. Dadi was so sweet and so loving. Everyone loved being near Dadi. There was not a moment where we felt bored around Dadi. Dadi was such a child, but also a master. Dadi was always so playful. Dadi used to interact so much with the other children, and everyone used to smile around Dadi. But also, Dadi was a master. Dadi was Pukka in every subject. And Dadi used to teach everyone in her classes. And Dadi used to give such deep points of knowledge that all of us learned something from her classes. Dadi had such an angelic presence too, that all of us felt so wonderful sitting in a room with her. Even if Dadi wasn't saying anything, we would just feel so happy, so overjoyed, and we would always feel that Dadi loved us and we loved Dadi so much. She was always so loving and gentle too. Whenever we spoke to Daddy, whenever we saw Daddy, she was always so gentle, and she never seemed like she was mad or she was frowning. Always she had a smile on her face, and always she was giving and smiling and laughing. And she also had a very stable and clear mind and intellect. There's also a story that I would like to share where Dadi, who was new in the yagya, she said, Baba, people make fun of me and tease me because of my very big forehead. And then Baba replied to her that it's because you have a clear mind and intellect. You have a very big buddhi, which is an intellect. Dadi put this point so much into practical use that she had such a stable mind and such a clear intellect that she could read the Murli 24 times. And when she read the Murli 24 times, she got to know more of knowledge and got to catch up with the other daddies. Because Dadi always felt that, oh, I came a little late in the yagya, so how do I catch up? And Baba said to read the Murli 12 times. So he doubled it and read it 24 times. Such a wonderful Dadi. She was also such a loving teacher. Whenever we had to learn anything from her, when she was teaching something, we never felt that we were sitting in a classroom and then it was only Daddy speaking. We always felt that Baba was also speaking, and we were hearing the versions of God himself. And Daddy explained it so lovingly and so gently that we all felt that we're having fun all the time around Daddy. Dadi Ji joined the yagya in 1927, and here are a few pictures with Brahma Baba and Dadi in 1953. It's the first image. In the second image to the right, she is with Mama and Baba, and in the image at the bottom, she is with Mama too. And this really shows that Dadi was in the yagya. She came a little bit late, but she was always so pakka and so practical in knowledge that she came ahead. After surrendering, Baba sent her to serve all around the world. She went to England, she went to Russia, she went to the US, she went everywhere to do service for Baba. And everywhere she went, she said more love, and she made more Baba's children come to knowledge. Dadi Ji also came to Peace Village a few years ago, and that was the first time for me meeting Dadi, and it was a very special moment for me, and I really liked it. And the presence of Dadi was so angelic that I still remember it to this day. Dadi Ji became a Vect on March 27th, 2020, and this Avikti Parivar began when we offered 13 days of Bhog for her Avikt, which led to multiple years of sustenance through Dadi indirectly. So thank you, Dadi, so much. And it's because of Dadi, ultimately, that all of us are here today on Avikti Parivar. So, test time. This might be a little tricky, but I'm sure you can do it, Avikti Parivar. So, our question is, where did Baba send Dadi Janki first outside of India? Option A, so wave your hand, is England. Option B, just clap, Peace Village. Option C is Global Harmony House, which is a heart. And option D is Nairobi. You can do this. Dance. So, Avikti Parivar, do you all have your answers? I see a lot of you are waving. And yes, it was England. Dadi, Baba sent Dadi to England first outside of India. So now we're wrapping up Dadi Janki Ji. And now I'm passing it down to our dear sweet brother Rona.
Om Shanti everyone. So let's learn about Dadi Gulzar ji. So her speciality that Avyak Bapdada said is she had innocence and a clear intellect. That is what allowed the spiritual fragrance to spread. right? And everyone loved the sweetness and unconditional love, the simplicity, and not engaging in small talk. So, what did that do? It made each word more valuable, right? So, Gulzar means garden full of blossoming flowers. And why? Because Dadi was always in spiritual bloom. And the interesting thing here is that she had no knowledge of the scriptures, but she had deep love for God, right? So, like, it can inspire everyone in the world that, you know, it doesn't require a background of devotion in order to belong to God, right? It's just about that bhavana is the main thing. And that spiritual fragrance, all her specialities enabled the the centers in the 1950s, like Mumbai and Delhi in India, to prosper really well. So now the question is, what is the memorial of Dadi Gulzar? So for option A, you can put that thumbs up using the Zoom feature. If it's B, you can put a real thumbs up like that. If it's C, you can wave your hand, or if it's D, you can do a heart-shaped expression. So yes, the answer is indeed C. Om Shanti.
So, Vikti Parivar, that concludes our presentation on all of our ancestors, and I'm sure you can feel their presence with us right now too. And so we always have the ancestors to guide us, and we're always receiving their blessings. Thank you, Vikti Parivar, for listening. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much. And now tomorrow is Monday, and our schedule from Amritwela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. And then evening, but we will start at 6 p.m. followed by Hindi series, English series, Happy World of Avikti Children, Avikti Journey, and Murli Revision. Welcome to Avikti Journey, Avik Murlis from 1969. Multi-million fold fortune and blessings.
Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of the 3rd of May, 1972. Be lawmaker, not the lawbreaker. You also know which are the godly laws and which are not. If, after knowing them, you don't follow them, what would you call this stage? Someone said effort. Baba says, is it that you are forgiven your mistakes in your effort-making life? Just as the shield of saying drama gives you support, in the same way, the word effort maker is also a very good shield when you are being defeated or are not being successful. Is this shield shown as one of your weapons? Would such souls be called effort makers? What meaning do you make of the word effort? It means that whilst you are in that chariot, you have to conduct yourself considering yourself to be a soul. This is called an effort maker. Purushart, doing something for the sake of the being. Who is the one who's making this effort? That is, who is the master? Who remains stable in this stage of soul consciousness? It is the soul, is it not? So an effort maker means one who considers himself to be a soul. Such effort makers can never be defeated. So do not use the word effort in that way. Yes, you can say that when you stop making an effort, then you are defeated. If you are engaged in making effort very well, you cannot be defeated. If there is a difference between knowing them and following them, then those with such a stage cannot be called effort makers. An effort maker always continues to move forward whilst keeping his destination in front of him. He never comes to a standstill. He may look at the side scenes that now and again come in between, but he never stops. Do you see? Or do you not see whilst seeing? If you stop when you see something in front of you, then those who continue to move along with such a stage cannot be called effort makers. An effort maker never lets go of his courage and enthusiasm. If you constantly have courage and enthusiasm with you, then you are constantly victorious. It is only when you do not have any courage, or when instead of enthusiasm, you have one or another type of laziness, that you are defeated. And by making a little mistake, even though you are the lawmakers, instead of being lawful, you yourselves become the lawbreakers. What is that little mistake? It is a mistake of just one vowel. By the difference of one vowel, from being the lawmakers, you become the lawbreakers. The difference of just one vowel in the words is, instead of Shiv, you look at Shav, which means corpse. Acha, we will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti.
In order to experience the stage of liberation in life, become free from bondage. The stage of manmanabhav. Always be stable in the stage of manmanabhav and experience spiritual supersensuous joy. And sweetness of the mind, and you will become free from the sweetness of the senses. That is, free from the attraction of perishable sweetness. Those who remain trapped in anything of the old world or in the sweetness of the senses cannot experience the sweetness of the mind and so become free from this.
जीवन मुक्त स्थिति का अनुभव करने के लिए बंधनों से मुक्त बनो। मन मना भव की स्थिति सदा मन मना भव की स्थिति में स्थित रहे। अलौकिक अतीन्द्रिय सुख व मन रस का अनुभव करो। तो इंद्रियों के रस अर्थात विनाशी रस की आकर्षण से मुक्त हो जाएंगे। जो पुरानी दुनिया की कोई भी वस्तु या इंद्रियों के रस में फंसे हुए रहते हैं, वे मन रस का अनुभव नहीं कर सकते। इसलिए इससे मुक्त बनो। ओम शांति।
क्या खूब ये, क्या खूब ये रूहानी मुल्क तेरी कायनात है। क्या खूब ये रूहानी मुल्क मिल रही निजात है। क्या खूब ये रूहानी मुल्क तेरी कायनात है।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Recording stopped.
Om Shanti Didi. Om
Om Shanti,
Shanti.
morning,
Shanti,
Didi.
Mohini.
Good
Thank you,
morning.
Baba.
Shanti,
Thank you,
Baba.
Didi. Thank you,
Didi.
Parivar.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
Om Shanti to youth.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Shanti Didi.